Good morning. Good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome all. Whether it be your first time or last time, thank you for being here with me this time. This is AP. This is Time Out to Tangents, as you know, and we are doing our morning segment of Coffee or Tea with AP. This is episode 5 of doing this, and I can't appreciate you guys more for being here with me this morning. It's Good Friday. YouTube looks like it's tripping. Not sure what's going on YouTube, but you know, life be life, and it is what it is. What up, Babin? Hey, glad to see that you're on the YouTube. It wasn't showing up on my end to make sure that the stream was working. But man, good morning, Babin. Thank you for being here this morning. What a special morning this is, right? I got, as per usual, got my venti London fog, got my tea. Tea a day keeps the laryngitis away. But this is a special Friday morning. You know, we only get one of these a year. It's Good Friday. I am a Christian. My faith is a major part of my life. I know, look, I'm far from perfect. Not gonna pretend like I am, because I'm not, far from it. I have flaws. I make mistakes. And I'm going to display all of that here. But, I thank God for the forgiveness that He gives me each and every time, not just on a day to day basis, but each and every time I ask Him for it. But the biggest thing that God did was He sacrificed His Son. He sacrificed His Son. He chose to sacrifice Himself for us. And it's on this day that we commemorate and remember the journey that He took to being nailed on that cross. Now, I'm not going to get into the technicalities of what day it was and all that, because you can go down that rabbit hole. I've done my own research on that, but this is the day that is widely regarded as the Friday in which Jesus was hung on that cross. So this is a special day, and it's a day that we should definitely take into consideration and take in, the moments for what it was. Morning. I am live, but it's okay. Like, no, you good. No, you good. I'm not doing nothing like deep. Just a morning segment that I started doing, talking to my oldest daughter. But yeah, so this is a Good Friday morning. So make sure that you guys are celebrating that in that way. Don't take it for granted. It is very important. It's very special. Without that sacrifice, where will we be in this world? Some things to consider for this Friday, right? It's a great Friday. It's a seafood Friday. I don't know what kind of seafood we eating today. We eating crawfish. We gonna get some. Where we going? Y'all may not know it, and she may not know it yet, but I think Ray are treating us for lunch today. Where AJ not up there, Ray? Oh, all right, all right. Um, where y'all getting y'all food from today? Where y'all eating today? I don't know what we plan on eat. Oh, you know what? I lied. My wife and I are going to go to New Orleans Food and Spirits later on. Some stuffed grilled catfish is definitely going to be a thing for me. Y'all all right? Y'all all right? No, I'm streaming. It, not loud, but I mean, it's okay. Like, this is a morning thing that I started, where it's just like, like a little coffee or tea with me, and I'll just kind of give a little set for the mood for the day. But like I was saying, my wife and I are probably gonna go to New Orleans Food and Spirits later on today. I'm gonna enjoy some voodoo egg rolls. She doesn't. Babin says we eat crawfish as a family every Sunday for Easter. That's a fire tradition. That's a huge tradition. We don't have a real Easter tradition in my family. We all go to church, and most of the time we'll go catch breakfast afterwards. But we don't have like a huge Easter tradition for my family outside of going to church. But I go to church every Sunday, so That's not really a tradition. That's just what it's supposed to be for me. Um, Today, what I'm looking forward to though is the boys are back on the diamond in Knoxville. This is going to be a very, very, very crucial weekend. 4:30, first pitch. Kason Evans takes the mound, and look, I know a lot of people are going to be skeptical about whether or not he should be the Friday night starter. Screw your skepticism. Kason is the guy. Plain and simple. Kason is the guy for Friday night. He will get it together. In the moment that he does, when he's on, this team will go. So I think we will see a better version of Kason because of what he did the last 4 innings he was out against Kentucky. He got his stuff together and he started shutting innings down and gave you a chance to be in the game. I think because of that, we see Kason come out in a really in a better mood. I think personally, I can't I don't know the stats to prove it, but just to me personally, it feels like that Kason actually performs better on the road. Oh wait, they announced Gidry on Sunday. Oh, whoa! Like that's a shocker. Yeah, Babin just said Gidry's still throwing on Sunday, and he thought they would move Cowan there. I thought so too. I thought I'm literally floored by that. First of all, I'm surprised it wasn't TBD. Second, that just goes to show the amount of confidence that Jay has in Gavin to eventually be a starter. But third, I kind of would have rather Gavin coming out the bullpen as a closer. But I don't get paid millions of dollars to make these decisions, so it's not up to me. I'm looking forward to tonight's game. This is going to be a major series. It's going to be very important for the boys to show up and show out. And I think, look, Tennessee got walked off 3 games in a row. That's hard to do. Do I think that that's something that's going to happen again? No. But do I think that they're going to come out looking to finish and make a statement? Yes. And sometimes when you come out with that much energy, like bite you. It can double back on top of you. So don't expect them, to come out flat. Like Tennessee is a legit baseball rivalry. It's that. Tennessee is a baseball rivalry. It's not, what Mississippi State was back in the 90s, but it can get there. Like it's gonna, like Bavin says, Tennessee is always fun. Like this is going to be a fun series. But who's gonna control the emotions best? That's what's gonna dictate this game tonight. And then I think Saturday and Sunday kind of play to our advantage. So I'm gonna go out here and say that we get 2 or 3, we take the series, and then we get back home and get to Oxford next weekend, with a chance to make a statement. Look, hosting a regional is not out of the picture. Like Paul said, we're on the road to 18. Is 18 a little bit harder to get to right now? It is. But if you get 2 out of 3 this weekend, you're right back on track. And you're quelling all of the issues that started early in the season. 40 runs over the last 3 games, is what this LSU baseball offense has been able to put up. That is showing you that they're starting to turn the corner. The additions and the consistency of Seth Dardar and John Pearson in the lineup has elevated this batting lineup to a point where you're excited to see where it's going to go. So if they can stay consistent, they don't have to stay hot. If they can stay consistent, we will be fine. I'll be also excited to see if we can get. I'll also be excited to see if we can get Jake Brown out of his little slide. He's slumping a little bit, but it's not something that we should be overly concerned about. Hitters hit, and he's going to turn it back on. And if he can turn it back on with what the rest of the roster has been able to do in this time, then you're setting yourself up to go on a real run. Once again, baseball is all about getting hot at the right time. And if we keep trending in this right direction, we can peak in the postseason, and then it's game on once you get to Omaha. So, Babin says back-to-back series in Knoxville and Oxford is insane. Yeah, whoever made that schedule did us no favors at all, like none. So it's not cool. It's not cute. It ain't fun. It just is what it is at this point. So, like we'll make it work. You just have to make it work. So you just take the ball and you play. You go play baseball. I will say. Also, we're gonna do our post game tonight after the game. Me, Paul, and Joker will be on tonight. David is pending as he's out of town. I'll follow up with him here in a second, but I might come on a little bit before the game just to kind of talk about the Trinidad Chambliss comments that he made regarding Lane Kiffin, or his old coach, as he puts it, which is fine because Lane refers to the school in Oxford as the other place or the previous place. Some people see it as an insult towards Lane. I'm not fully taking it like that. And I kind of want to remind Ole Miss, too, that they were the second option for Trinidad. Like, he fell back on y'all because he kind of had to. What do I mean by that? Just to give you a little bit of a reminder, Trinidad was asked point blank, what will you do if you get the waiver the week that they were playing Tulane? Will you come back to Ole Miss? And his answer was a resounding, I have to weigh out my options. I have to see what's the best fit for me. Unfortunately for him, the best fit was the only fit because he didn't get a chance to go into the portal. I'm not saying that he was going to come to LSU. I'm not saying he was going to follow Lane Kiffin and Charlie Weiss Jr. But what I am saying is the fact that he did not say, oh, I'm all in on Ole Miss, tells me that he was not all in on Ole Miss at that moment. And that means something. So, tis is what tis is. But, we march on. So I'm going to deal with that in a little bit later. If not today, then definitely tomorrow. Got some big announcements for next week. Got a special show Wednesday night. Gonna do another stream Thursday night. Got a couple of big guests coming on. I'm gonna do some special things. Thursday is gonna be fun. Wednesday is gonna be mind blowing. I can't wait. Can't wait to announce those things. I'm gonna announce them here in a second. Alexandria, thank you for joining in. How you doing? I know you got off work a little bit ago. Thank you for joining in, man. I definitely appreciate the support. Alex, you got any big plans for Good Friday? Do you have any plans with you and your family? If so, drop them in the chat. Let us know what y'all got going on, man. Yeah, I'm gonna deal with that. We're gonna deal with the Trinidad stuff later, and then some big announcements for Wednesday and Thursday for next week. Definitely gonna be a fun week next week. And then we rock out, man. Spring football is rolling. Boys will be back on the field tomorrow. And, we'll just keep it moving, keep it pushing. Life is going to life, and we're going to keep things rocking and high rocks, As y'all can hear right now, my house is full. All my kids are home. My daughter is back home on spring break, and my son is off from school. My baby girl is off from school. So life is lifing, but it's good to have everything going on. It's good to have kids around, good to have family around. So y'all take today and, live out of, Alex says, I live out of state, so no plans with the family, but going to enjoy Sunday off. Look, Sundays off are elite. All right? Sundays off are elite. A paid Sunday off is c'est magnifique. That is chef kiss. So yeah, you definitely enjoy your day off. I know not having a night to go into is great. So that's that's a sigh of relief. She says, looking forward to more content from you. What a time for content. Yes, the content is contenting. Like I say, the content is definitely contenting. And thank you. I can't thank you guys enough for the support, man. It's definitely been amazing. The growth has been phenomenal, and we're not stopping. We got a lot of big things in the works right now. A lot of irons in the fire, shall they say? So, oh yeah, look, I'm gonna be um, I'm gonna be in Baton Rouge 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, be in Baton Rouge in 2 weeks. My wife and I are coming out there, gonna celebrate my birthday. Birthday's in 10 days. April is the best month on the calendar. I don't care what any of y'all say. April is the best month on the calendar, and I'm gonna tell you why. The birthstone of a diamond is for the month of April. The one stone every woman in America wants is a diamond. So if the one stone everybody wants resides within the month of April, that makes April the best birthday month. Hey, your dad is amazing. Why? Because his birthday is in April. He's an April Aries. I have love for all Aries, but the April Aries are special. I have love for Tauruses, but April Aries are just a cut above the Tauruses. Be different. So yeah, Alex, like I was telling Babin earlier, Babin's on the YouTube chat. I definitely think that we get the series win against Tennessee. I think that Tennessee is a very emotional club, and the fact that they got walked off for an entire weekend, they're gonna come in juiced against LSU, and I think the team that can control their emotions the best in this game will be the one that should be able to pull it out. And I like our advantage on Saturday and Sunday versus what they show up. So I think we take 2 or 3 against Tennessee, and we get the week. We walk out of Knoxville with the weekend, and we gear up for Oxford, because Oxford's going to be a raucous event. It's going to be a mini football feel to the vibes in Oxford for what's going to happen on September 19th. I'm not gonna say I wish I was there, but I wish we had some people that were gonna be boots on the ground for Oxford next Friday night, just for Friday. I think after Saturday the emotion will kind of like settle in a little bit, but Friday is gonna be ridiculous. So I'm looking forward to it. Um, so yeah, like y'all just lock in and enjoy it. Like this is gonna be a wild ride. Like LSU is on the heater right now, and I absolutely love it. Um, oh man, definitely, I definitely appreciate it. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. When are you coming to BR? Let me know when you're gonna be in BR, and we'll definitely link up for sure, certainly. And I want to talk to you too because I want to make sure that everybody in this community is getting a light shined on them. And you have an amazing pod. I do tap in and listen to it whenever I get the time to. I'm trying to keep up with everybody, and sometimes it gets a little hard, especially in the midst of planning and working and changing things. And right now, you're gonna be in town for the same weekend? Absolutely, let's definitely do it. Let's definitely do it. Yeah, we'll definitely link up. Um, but yeah, it gets a little hard. There's a lot of behind the scenes things taking place. I mean, y'all see, I made a little bit of a change here on the set. I'm waiting on some more stuff to rearrange things around me. I say the set, it's my living room. Okay, my wife is giving me a corner of the living room that I get to play around in, and she honestly does like all the decor and things. So, I'm playing around with some things like that. I got some tech stuff that I'm doing. So, make the content better and more enjoyable for all of y'all. At the end of the day, I love doing this, but I want you guys to love viewing it and consuming it too. So there are a lot of things I'm working on behind the scenes, a lot of things I'm testing and trying, a lot of equipment that I bought and don't use that didn't really fit what I need. So as I'm going, as I'm figuring things out, like you guys aren't along on the ride with me for that, and I can't appreciate y'all more for that, man. It's been absolutely been amazing, a phenomenal journey, and I'm gonna keep being consistent and keep showing up each and every day. So like I can't thank y'all enough for all of the support, man. Like it's been absolutely phenomenal, absolutely amazing throughout this time. But yeah, Alex, I'm definitely gonna shoot you a message, and we're gonna get this thing rolling. And I will meet up, where we can. Let me make sure that YouTube is working again still. Yeah, it is. All right, cool. So yeah, I was having some technical difficulties, but yeah, we're definitely going to be there for the Texas A&M game. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, I can see all of y'all at that game. My wife and I are planning on going to the Saturday game. That Friday, trying to make it in for that Friday night game is going to be a little hectic because of our work schedules, but we're going to make it into Baton Rouge that Friday night, and we'll be in throughout the entire weekend. So definitely looking forward to that series. Look, I'm looking forward to all of April because the faster we get through April, the faster we get through May. We have 22 Saturdays until LSU kicks off against Clemson. 22 Saturdays. We're closer than you think. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. We're supposed to be doing some tailgating stuff too. So I look forward. Yeah, definitely. We're gonna make this thing happen, Alex. We're definitely gonna make this thing happen. So Alex got the hey Unc, what's up, Unc? Definitely appreciate you being there, man. Good morning, man. Let the countdown begin, baby. Yes, we are just a few hours away from 4:30 first pitch. Unc, tell me, do you think we take the series this weekend? Alex says on Twitter, fun fact, my dad was a LSU football equipment manager from 84 to 88. Oh, what? I know he's got some amazing stuff. I know he's got if your dad would be willing to like if he's got some stuff that he wants to get off his hands, hand up, I'm willing to buy. Like I'm a sucker for old school LSU stuff. Uncle Randy in the chat says yes, Tigers 2 games to 1 Tigers. Yeah, I said the same thing. I said the same thing. Unc is an eternal optimist. Look, I'm with you. Okay, I'm absolutely with you. Honestly, I'm more optimistic this weekend than I was last weekend, and the way that the offense has responded over the last several games has given me a lot of hope. I think we finally found a lineup that can move runners. And then we're playing in this tiny park. There were a lot of balls that were hit over the course of the weekend that were flyouts. Like that center field catch that was made by Southern on Tuesday night, that's a home run in Tennessee. That's a home run in Tennessee. Amazing catch by him, by the way. I wouldn't be surprised if we hear this kid in the transfer portal and then Jay Johnson pulls him over to LSU. Like that was an amazing catch and play by him, and he was decent at the plate that night too. I really feel like we're going to come like this is going to be like a turning moment for us this weekend. So I think that we get 2 out of 3. Alex says my dad memorabilia collection. He been collecting since '84. He even still has his letter. Oh wow, man, that's dope. That's dope. We will talk. We'll talk at the tailgate. I love Dad to start his own podcast just to tell his stories. Look, I'd be all the way tapped in. That I love hearing those old war stories. Speaking of which, I'm gonna talk to Cornell Stewart, who played for LSU, won a national championship in 2007. Him and Marlon Favorite played in the Arena League together, and they have some amazing stories from back then that they haven't shared publicly, but they share with me, just in talking, throughout the years with training with my son. So I'm gonna have them on one day, and we're gonna talk some of those old arena football stories. They're absolutely hilarious, man. Like the things that happen in arena football league are it's legit criminal. Babin says Dardar and Pearson have been a revelation. They have, man. Like those two being added in to the lineup have given you the insertion of consistency and good hitting, quality at bats that we've needed. And I think that's what's been able to kind of unlock the lineup. So if you have those guys hitting like they've been, and you get a Jake Brown back, then it's up. Oh, my son plays edge. He's a defensive end. He plays all over the defensive line. He's a defensive lineman, and he plays edge now. I was talking to his position coach yesterday before they went on spring break, and he's going to be all over the D line this year. It's a senior year, and yeah, the kid's elite with quickness, very strong for his size. He's 5'9". My son's for as tall as I am, my son is short, but it is. Yeah, he is a junior. He is a junior. There was no way I was having a boy and he not being a sequel. Sorry, like that was out of the question. It was not happening. Like he was definitely. Is that in the car going to run it back? So, look, they lost a lot, and the thing that they have to replace, it isn't the talent, right? This team was led like that 2024 team that won the first state championship. That junior class, which now graduated, the class with Richard, that class was special. That class is the one that broke through. It was their leadership from their sophomore year, because they had a lot of sophomores that were playing early and literally making major impacts. I mean, John Johnson was a starting quarterback as a sophomore. You had Hayward Howard Jr., who was a starting corner. Maurice Williams, who was a starting corner. Then you had Richard, who was a starting D tackle as a sophomore. You had a bunch of wide receivers that were starting as sophomores and juniors. They all grew up together. So you're not replacing talent. You're replacing 3 years of experience. And they lost to Acadiana that they could have honestly won 3 titles in a row. They lost to Acadiana with some questionable defensive calls, and just not having enough experience in the moment, and that's what broke that team through. Like we all knew after that Acadiana lost that next year they were going to win, and we knew that they were going to go back to back because even with what they lost on offense, the defense made up for it in spades. Like that defense was probably the best defense across the nation against any high. I would take that defense and line them up against any high school defense across the country, and you would have to show me that they're better than what Edna Carr put on the field. Plain and simple. When you look at that defense, you had a D1 defensive tackle in Richard Anderson, who was the number one defensive tackle in the nation, the number one cornerback in the state. You had another highly rated 3-star, almost 4-star corner in Maurice Williams, who's turning heads at the University of Colorado. You had elite linebackers with elite speed. They didn't get highly rated or get big-time recruits, but they are all playing on college campuses. The seniors that graduated off that defense were ridiculous. And you're replacing 6 or 7 of them. That's a lot to replace just on defense. And then you're replacing your 3-year starter at quarterback with a guy who's going to be a junior. So if anybody wants to take Carr down, you better get them this year. You better catch them this year. If you want to beat them, if you don't want them back in the dome, if you don't want them holding that trophy again, you better catch them this year. Because I can tell you this, if you don't get them this year, next year is really going to be another problem. Look, Alex, I'm looking forward to it too, man. Look, Alex says, looking forward to your football content. It's going to be so far. It is. Like, I cannot wait. Cannot wait for football coverage. Like, it's going. I'm gonna have to retire from my paying job because this is how I would be on here all day just talking about football. Like, look, I wasn't planning on being here for 30 minutes, but you got me started on football, and I'm just talking high school football, and I'm on a tangent about it. Um, Unc says, I love Edna Carr after seeing the Hulu doc. Became a lifetime fan of Bryce. Look, let me tell you something. Bryce Brown is probably one of the most genuine people I have ever met. Like, he is such a good guy. He cares about all of his players. He cares about his staff. And he operates that high school program like it's a college program. When they're practicing, Bryce runs the offense. But during practice, he doesn't meddle in what the offense is doing. He lets his coaches coach. He never comes to the defensive side of the field unless he's literally unloading dummies on the golf cart. That's it. He stays completely away from the defense. It's amazing. And then I love how he splits the teams up. If you're on offense, you do not cross the 50-yard line. You stay on the offensive side of the field. Y'all share the sideline, but it divides at the 50. Offense stays on their side, defense stays on their side. You do not mingle with each other at all during the entirety of practice. So much so that even when practice ends, they split apart and go their own way into the same locker room. Like, it's elite how he operates that team. And then another thing I love about it too is it's led by the leaders of the team. Like, of course, coaches correct and discipline and get on the kids, but it's not before the seniors or the captains do. He holds the captains more accountable for the actions of players, whether they even be in class or on the field. I love how he does it, man. And that's why they have been a brand and a standard for the state of Louisiana for the last 20 years. And like you said, never count out Bryce. You can't. That's why I said I don't know. It's hard for me to. It's hard for me to argue against Bryce Brown. It's hard for me to argue against Bryce Brown, and I will never not display this ring. Even though it doesn't belong to me, it's my son's. But it's because this is a shelf of excellence. Like, Edna Carr is a shelf of excellence. It's ridiculous. Unc says, I saw Aaron Anderson run back 3 punts for touchdowns in the same game where they won by less than 2 scores. Did you happen to see that game, Aaron's senior season at Carr? There were a lot of games I saw, and they were special. One of the games that stand out to me was when Speedy Noyle was the quarterback, and he was absolutely elite. When Edna Carr played Warren Easton in the Dome that year, I was there for that game. They came down to a 2-point conversion being stopped at the 1-yard line. Ridiculous. I was at another playoff game in the jungle between Warren Easton and Edna Carr. I was at that game. It's amazing that the fact that my son got to go to Edna Carr, got to play at that school, got to play on the state championship run. It's high school recruiting is its own. High school football is its own thing. Like, it's legitimately its own thing, and I'm blessed that my son got to experience all these things, and be a part of that program. When he went to a quietly known middle school on the West Bank, buried deep in Marrero, like, he got spotted by coaches, and the rest is history. Alex says Edna Carr is legendary, and for Lane to make his visit in person speaks volumes. I will tell you right now, I was at Edna Carr every single day for 2 years straight, watching every single snap of practice, watching every single levee run, every single suicide drill that was ran. I was there, sitting on the levee, watching from my truck, and I can tell you, Brian Kelly never walked those halls. for Lane Kiffin to get off the plane, get his recruiting class together, jump in a car a couple weeks later, and the first high school he goes to is in the car, says a lot. He's going to do what he can do to lock this state down. Now, do I think he has a lot of ground to make up because of what the previous administration did and how they fumbled with these kids in this class? Yes. Yes, I do. I absolutely do. But you got work that you got to get. You got your work cut out for you. Eastern Royal. Unc says right here, we're going to get Eastern Royal to flip. And I think you do, but it's going to come down to a lot of work. Zyron Forstall, 5-star defensive end from New Orleans. He's from New Orleans. He went to Jesuit, transferred to IMG, played his first season in IMG last year. He just committed to Texas A&M. That's a huge loss. Huge get for them. Right? But you have to make that happen. You got to go. If that's who you want, you got to get in there. You got to make inroads, and you got to make up for it. And I think, honestly, you will see Lane Kiffin's best class be the 2028 class once kids start seeing the results that LSU is going to put out this season, and the fact that they'll be able to establish a good sense of relationships with themselves, the kids, and the brand of LSU. 2027 is going to be relied upon the relationships that they had before while being at the other school in Oxford and then coming over to LSU. So there's going to be a little bit of a gap, a little bit of a lull, but I do expect this recruiting class to be elite because LSU just recruits itself. That's one. And now you bring in Lane Kiffin. Do I think that Lane and the staff that he has can make up that gap? Yes, I do. But it's just going to take a lot of work. Alex says on Twitter, I graduated from Captain Shreve in the 318. Dad graduated from Barb in LC. My cousin graduated from Holy Cross in New Orleans. Oh, y'all got it covered. I graduated from Brother Martin. I'm a Crusader till I die. Crimson and Gold is where my fortunes were made. Right? Well, they made fortunes off of me, but that's a story for another day. So I got to go up against Holy Cross. And when I graduated, Holy Cross really wasn't a football power. Like, they were good, but they weren't that great. They get hot every now and again, you know. But I wish we would have played in this playoff setting that we have now. I was a defensive tackle. I played defensive tackle, played a little bit of linebacker early on, and then locked in at D tackle. I was pretty good until I got a high load against De La Salle my junior year and blew my knee out. It was a mess, but you know, life be life, and here I am talking to you. Who knows where I'd be if that wouldn't have happened? But you know, it's such as life, and I appreciate it. Look, my time playing is great, and I'm able to share that knowledge with my son now. And seeing the things that I learned even all the way back then, and talking with Fave and all these other guys who still coach the position at a high and elite level, seeing the things that I've learned from back then and still able to share it and translate it 20 years later, and that it still applies, it's great. I took it very serious. I didn't take it serious enough. I relied a little bit too much on my raw athleticism. Funny, Blake did a show yesterday, and he was trying to quote a quote that he heard Sterling Lucas say at practice, and he couldn't finish it. And the quote was, technique beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And I know that quote because I got that quote drilled into me every single day. Like as a freshman, I got to play a little bit. As a sophomore, I was playing a lot. As a junior, I was a starter. So I saw the field a lot of Brother Martin, and I missed my entire senior season with my knee. But I got to hear that a lot because it was, you got talent, you got all the talent in the world. You need your technique right. Your technique is what beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So I know that quote very well. Now I hear that yelled at my son a lot. So it's funny that, those things don't change. But no, man, like my playing days were fun. I miss it. But I'm glad I'm on the other side of it now too. And I actually enjoy watching my son play more than I enjoy playing myself. And I know it's kind of odd, but it's something that you don't really grasp or understand until you have kids for yourself. And I definitely see that now. So I can't wait. I can't wait for his senior season. It's going to be fun. He's locked in. He's going through the whole recruiting thing and everything. So, which I'm not a fan of, by the way. Like, this is stupid. But it is what it is. It's life. So, we go through it, we move on. Um, Unc, what you got planned for Easter? You got any Easter traditions that y'all do? No, man, it definitely is. Unc says, "Got to be quite thrilled to see your son following your footsteps." It definitely is. It is a thrill, but it's also a double edged sword too, because like I tell him all the time, we may have the same name, but we're not the same person. So you don't have to be what I am. You don't have to do what I do. There were a lot of times, especially when he wanted to play, when he first got into football, I used to try to make him quit because I didn't want people to put that on him. Oh, your dad did X, Y, and Z. Your dad was this. Your dad was that. You're gonna be like your dad. I hate that. I hate that for any child because I lived my life. I had my run. I did what I was supposed to do. I I love seeing him do it, but I love seeing him do it because it's what he wants to do. Now, did I have a little bit of influence on him into playing football when he was young? Absolutely. When he first was born, I put a football in his hand. Like, are you kidding me? He didn't sleep with stuffed animals. He slept with a stuffed football. Like, that's all my kid knew growing up. But once he got, what up, Joker? Thank you for being here, man. I appreciate you tapping in. But once he got old enough to start like watching football and consuming it for himself, then that's when I was like, you know what? Like, let's see how much you really like it. And he wanted to play park ball, so took him out to the park, let him run around with the kids and play out there, and got him his equipment and stuff. And I told him, I said, hey, ain't no crying. You're gonna get lit up, get back up, and go light somebody else up. To his credit, I have never seen this kid get blown up. And if anything, I seen him knock the kid. I seen him knock a kid out before, like legitimately knock a kid's breath out, and they ended practice in park ball. It was ridiculous. He trucked the kid so hard that they ended practice. Like seeing him play park ball was special. Like, and he didn't even know what the hell he was doing. He was just out there, just like, oh, that's what you want me to do, cool. And he was going full bore, like all out. And like he was a detriment to himself too because he was just laying kids out. But he'd get up, like you could see the birds flying around. So it's like, hey kid, settle down a little bit. Like, but he played park ball for a couple of years. They went on a couple of runs. That was fun. And then he got into middle school and just started waylaying kids out. And his technique was good. He was a natural athlete. Then he started training with Fave when he was in seventh, eighth grade. And then the rest is history. Here we are. And my girl dad also. Yes. So my daughters are absolutely amazing. My oldest girl, she's in college at Alcorn. She's a cheerleader. She's actually going through tryouts for cheerleading too. She played softball as well. She got into softball late though. She got into softball her senior year of high school. My baby girl is a dancer and a majorette, and she's on co-captain of her majorette team at school. She's actually getting her first solo for the dance studio that she dances at this season. So she'll be training for that actually this week, starting up. So yeah, I'm a girl dad all the way through. I'm a sucker for my baby girls. Don't let them know that. They literally get whatever they want out of me. I'm hard on them too because I don't ever want them to get played. I don't ever want them to try to I don't ever want them to. I don't ever want anyone to try to take advantage of them. So I try to, like teach them and keep them in line with just, like real conversations, plain and simple. Let's see. AP, what happened to that kid that was a star of the Park Ball League? He should be a sophomore, junior in high school now. I have no idea. I know you're talking about the Hulu documentary. Yeah. I know you're talking about. I don't know. And here's the thing. I'll tell you about this. Um, I'll tell you about this. You could be a star in park ball. It doesn't mean that you're gonna be a star in high school. There's a legit levels to this. And just because you are the fastest kid in the park between ages of 7 and 11, that don't mean you're gonna be the fastest kid on the football field once you step on the football field like Edna Carr. Because once you get to high school, you have to train at it like you're in college, because there's a legit separation. Yeah, it's still out. It's called Algiers America. I know exactly what it's called because it's like Unc says, it is a must watch. Like you have to watch it. Just Google Algiers America, and it will pop up. It's all about Edna Carr's run, coming off of a 3 state championship run, trying to get the fourth, and dealing with the impacts of the hurricane during that season too. It's amazing. It's that documentary is what, because my son was all in on going to Brother Martin. He wanted to follow my footsteps, but when Edna Carr came around, and was talking to him, and we had the opportunity, like with the way the public school system is set up in New Orleans. You can apply through the one app. We had the opportunity to apply, and we got accepted. He was kind of down about that at first, so I showed him the documentary, and he immediately bought all in, and he's still all in on Edna Carr. Like you have to see it. Unk says it's an absolute masterpiece. It is. It's a masterpiece. It is. They won awards for this documentary. Like they won awards for how great it is. Joker says he's got 4 kids from 21 to 4. Pawpaw Joker? What? Pawpaw, and I thought I had some old kids. Not Pop Joker. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait till you're on tonight. We're definitely gonna talk about that. Pop Joker, man. That's beautiful. Look, man, family is so important. It's one of these things, man, where like I can't imagine having, like a child and not being there for them. Like I love watching my kids grow up, learn new things, and like their personality start to develop, and you round them out. I will say like that teenage range though is, huh, huh. That teenage range, man, it's rough, but it's so beautiful on the other side, man. Like seeing your kids mature and grow up and like start becoming their own adults. Like seeing my baby girl right now. She'll be 19 in a couple of weeks. She's an Aries just like me. Seeing her like legitimately make adult decisions for herself, it's such a beautiful thing. And I'm getting emotional right now because that's how much I love my kids. It's such a beautiful thing to see, man. Like, there's only so much that you can do to prepare your children to go out into the world. Once they're there, the world tries to have their way with them. And of course, you want to protect them from everything, but you can't. But you try to prepare them for everything, and you can't, because life has a way to life. I cannot tell y'all like how amazing it is to see my kids grow up, mature, make mistakes too, and then learn from their mistakes and bounce back. Like I had a conversation with my son about doing something. So I told my son, like there's gonna come a time where I'm not gonna wake you up for school anymore. Like it's gonna be on you to be responsible for yourself to get up and go to school. And if I have to wake you up to go to school, it's going to be a problem. Well, he took it upon himself to start getting himself up and getting out, getting on the bus and going to school on his own. Well, he's out of school today, and we talked for a little bit. And he had a robotics. He's into engineering, so he had a robotics tournament going on today. And he was like, I don't have to go today. I can go tomorrow. Blah blah blah. I said, yeah, but you should push yourself to go today. Push yourself to go today. Get it out the way, and now you have the rest of your week to yourself, man. Like just check it off the list. You don't have anything else to do today. He was like, yeah, but we're gonna be there long. So what? So what? I said, like push yourself to go today. I woke up this morning, and me and my wife were laying in bed for a little bit because we didn't have anything really to do. So we just kind of we woke up on time as we normally do before like 5. I woke up before 5, and we're just kind of laying in bed. And next thing you know, I checked the location, and he's gone. He's out of there. That's the type of things I love to see. Like my young man is becoming a young man. My young woman is becoming a young woman. I love to see that. Unk says, you have inspired me to go see my daughter on Easter AP. Man, look, first of all, I don't ever want to say I'm inspiring people. I thank you for taking the motivation from this conversation to want to go see her. Like, yes, spend as much time with your family as you possibly can, man. I had a very, dysfunctional relationship with my mom, and this September will be 7 years that my mom's been passed, and I cannot tell y'all like how much I do miss my mom. Towards the end, like my mom got sick, but towards the end, we definitely made things work, and we definitely established that love and relationship with one another, and that right there, really, 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 really means a lot to me. Like I tell my wife all the time, like, my wife and I have this routine when we leave. We talk to each other every morning till she gets to work. And in between time, her mom will call, and she was like, do you get upset when my mom calls and interrupts our conversations? I said, hell no. Because I wish my mom would still be able to call and talk to me. So if you have kids, if you have your parents still around, man, take that time to see them while you can. Those memories are so worth it because you can never get those back. Like if you're not doing anything, man, go make that time for them. Go. We take tomorrow for granted, but you never see tomorrow. You only see today. So don't put off what you can do today for tomorrow, especially when it comes to seeing the people that you love. The world is crazy right now, bro. Like it's crazy out there. And I know that, like we're not talking sports, LSU, Saints, or anything right now. We're talking like this is a legit tangent section. This is why it's coffee and tea with me. We're just chatting, and I love this. Like I was supposed to be off here 40 minutes ago, but I'm still gonna keep going because this is important. This is what this time of year is about. Like, especially Easter and Good Friday. Like, it's about the sacrifices that were made so we can still be able to spend time with one another. Enjoy each other's company while you have it. Alex says in the Twitter chat, Tiger Joker, my older brother and his wife have a daughter. It's the family's first grandchild. That's beautiful. And then she says, my dad said his favorite season is hanging out with us now we are adults. It's true. It's absolutely true. Like, I make the joke, like, as my kids got older, like, they were younger. I forget my son saying, Dad, I want a puppy. I was like, what do we need a puppy for? We got you. And he was like, huh? I was like, yeah, I got to feed you, train you, teach you. I said, the good thing about you and a puppy is you can talk. You can tell me what's wrong. And you already expensive. We don't need a puppy right now. So as he got older, he came back to me. He's like, Dad, I need a puppy. I said, we don't need a puppy. He was like, why? He was like, you taught me, you trained me. I said, yeah, but I still got to feed you. And still the best thing about you is you can talk. And you're already still expensive. So he got a little bit older and he said, "You know what, Dad? I'm tired of asking you for a puppy." I said, "Why?" He said, "Because I am expensive." I said, "Exactly. Now you're transitioning to becoming my broke best friend." So my kids are legitimately my broke best friends. And now that they're out in the world, they're getting older, they're making their own, they're doing work, right? They both have jobs. My two oldest, at least, they both have jobs. They make their own little money. They so when they have their own little money just to pay for themselves, like when we go out to eat, it's all right. My broke best friend's not broke today, So it transitions into those phases, and I love seeing them mature and transition through these phases of life and hanging out with them, just spending time with them. Like we'll go see a movie, and my girls like seeing a movie with my girls is the worst experience possible because they talk all through the movie. But it's also funny because I know that they're gonna talk all through the movie. And I love seeing them in that environment. Like just hanging out with them is such the best thing for sure. Alex says girl dads for the win. I love it. Shout out to the fathers in the chat. Absolutely. Shout out to all the dads in the chat, man. Like all of y'all doing y'all thing, being responsible for your kids, watching your kids grow up, man, being in their lives, being impactful, showing up for them when it's hard. And look, I'll tell you this, as a guy who grew up, I don't even know who my father is, right? My whole goal as a young man was to never allow my children to experience what I experienced. Not just to not know who their father is, but to not have their father as an impact in their lives. Like, my son has gone through school and football with me being at every single practice. And it got to the point this year where he was like, "Dad, I need you to come into the weight room." Like, I was like, "What? Why?" He was like, "It's my senior spring. Like, come in and just watch us lift." I was like, "I don't want to watch y'all lift. Y'all stink. I don't want to be that close." Like, no. When y'all get your equipment, I'll be out there. Like, it's not gonna change. I'm gonna be there. Like, and I love that. Like, because it shows to me that he actually values me being able to be there for him, and he looks for that, and he looks for his mom to be there too. We have a joke with amongst myself and my friends that if my wife is late for a game, then he's gonna start off slow. Like, for some reason, when my wife is not there, he's quiet on the field. It's like he knows. It's like he knows that her presence isn't there. But the moment she sits down in the stands, he starts making plays. It happens every time. So they started telling her, like, "Hey, you need to be here before kickoff. You got to get off the bus early." Blah, 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 blah. It's hilarious, man. It's definitely hilarious. Randy says, "You have a great spirit, AP." Thank you. That's all look. I know there are some people out there who feel slighted by some decisions that I've made, and I don't care. But I'm going to genuinely be myself. And that's all I want people to see is that I do have a good spirit. At the end of the day, I care about everybody. Everybody I come in contact with, I legitimately care for y'all because y'all don't have to be here. Y'all are choosing to spend literally an hour of your time on this beautiful Friday morning, a good Friday morning when most people are off looking for something to entertain. Y'all are sitting up here just running it with me. Y'all don't have to do that, and I appreciate y'all for that. I'm a genuine guy. I'm not going to hide anything from anybody. I'm going to keep things real. And if you don't like me being honest, then you need to check that with yourself. If there are people out here, especially in this podcasting community, that are moving in ways that I don't like. And it's not good for everybody. So I distance myself from them. Plain and simple. And if you don't like that, tough titty, go cry to your mama. I ain't got nothing to help you with. Alex says both parents are crucial, especially fathers from a daughter's perspective. Yeah, look, I will say that having both parents around is definitely important. Like I said, my relationship with my mom was already kind of fractured. My grandparents primarily raised me, um, but even Even with that being said, like my son's relationship with his biological mom is it's not amazing. They both know that. It's not amazing. It's not the best, but I would never be the type of father to try to keep him from his mom because she needs to be involved. He needs to have a relationship with his mom. And I tell him all the time, like, no matter what happens, that's your mom. You're going to love her. You're going to respect her. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. So, like having your parents there to support you, to show you love, even in the moments where you may not see eye to eye, because look, there is no book on being a parent. It's hard. It's hard being a parent. Like you don't know how to, and it's the one thing I'm honest with about all my kids. I don't know how to do this. I just know how to make mistakes and be honest. Like when I mess up, I have no problem telling my child, hey, I was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have made that decision. So let's figure out a way to make this right. I can come to my kids and tell them that. I don't have to be right all the time just because I am a parent. Now, are there times where I put my foot down and say, yeah, we're not doing this because I am the one that's saying we're not doing it. Whether you understand why or not, that's not on me. Like, I have my reasons, and you may not understand them right now. But for the most part, I keep as honest and free flowing as I am with my friends, as I am with my wife. I operate with my kids the same way. Like, they have their role for me. They're my children. I don't hold them at the same level as I do as a friend. I'm not going to talk to them in the same manner I do as a friend or as my wife, but I do have my friendship with them, with each of them, because they're people. They're my children, but they are people. And having two parents, whether it be biological or not, having two parents in a household is always a good thing because it brings balance. There's a tenderness that my wife provides that I can't. There's a firmness that I provide, even though my wife is a bulldog, that I provide that my wife can't. There's a balance between, and then my wife and I balance each other. Whereas she may not have the words to properly express how she feels in moments, especially when it's hot, I can communicate those things for her to make sure that everybody understands what's going on. Right? I'm passionate about things, like when I'm passionate about things and I get overly into something, she can settle me down and make sure that the kids understand where I'm coming from. There's balance in it. So, like having two parents around is always a plus. It's just in this day and age, it's hard to do. Life be life and for real. So that's why I keep everybody lifted in prayer. I make sure that everybody, like, I don't share everything that I do, but I pray for all of y'all because, like I said, once again, y'all don't have to be here, and you are, man. I can't appreciate appreciate each of you more for doing that. Joker says you're a great man and a great friend. Keep being you no matter what. Absolutely, man. Look, the easiest thing in the world for me to be is myself. The easiest thing for me to be outside of being me is being honest. Why? I don't have to run from lies when I'm telling the truth. I don't have to remember a lie when I'm telling the truth. So whatever I tell to someone about you, know that I've already said it to you first. I'm not going to talk about nobody behind nobody's back. I'm not going to talk about nobody because what happens between me and you is between me and you. I'm not messy like that. But if someone comes ask me for my opinion on something, I'm going to share it, but I'm going to let people formulate their own opinions and views of individuals for themselves before I sway their judgment to them, especially when it's about somebody else. Because how I feel about someone doesn't mean that you should feel about someone. Go get to know people for yourselves. Because just because who I don't like doesn't mean that you don't like them or you shouldn't like them. You might like what somebody brings to the table. And if you do, y'all are more than welcome to share a meal. What you eat, and excuse my language, don't make me shit. So I don't have time for all of that. I love people meeting people and having good moments. And I would never step in the middle of that. Like, that's not my place. I'm doing this because I love talking sports. I love the relationships that we're developing here. I love talking LSU. I love talking Saints. And I'm going to keep doing it because I love this. See, this coffee or tea thing that I started doing, this is just kind of like a me just being myself. Just turning on the camera and just talking, setting up a tempo for the day, expectations, and however long the conversation can go, we're just going to let it roll. If y'all are in here, you know, talking and chatting it up, we're going to keep it rolling for however long we can. Uh, Alexandra says, I love you, AP. Look forward to meeting you. Much love to the chat and Tiger Joker. Go Tigers. Absolutely. She also says, preach at AP 100 plus in these podcast streets. You have to have discernment. You do. Not everybody's meant, and I'm learning this lesson. Not everybody's meant to be on the ride with you. As much as I want to bring everybody on that ride, not everybody's meant to be there. And look, I'm not going to be somebody who's going to close the door for someone. I'm going to let you on until you give me a reason to put you off. From me, at least. I don't control everything, but I control my bubble. And once I let you in my space, I expect for you to do and move in a way that's comfortable for me in my space. If I'm no longer comfortable with you in my space, I'm not just going to let you stay in my space. I'm going to move on. Plain and simple. Like, they can feel however they want. I don't care. Like, it's about me protecting my peace. I worked hard for my peace. I want to keep it. I want to maintain it. It just is what it is. It's life. And if people are upset behind, like me moving on in my life, then oh well, so be it. It is what it is. But once again, back to the family point aspect of it, man. Like, spend time with your loved ones as much as you can. Friends and family alike. If there are people that you care about, make sure that they know. As my aunt is literally texting me as we speak. Do you all know that Jesus died on the cross for our sins? Once again, that's what today is all about. Spreading that message and making sure that you're spending time to honor that sacrifice. And I know not everybody's religious, not everybody has faith, not everybody believes in God. That's cool too. I don't have any ill will towards anybody for their choices. What you choose to do is what you choose to do. Just don't be mad at me because I have mine. And I want to support y'all on that journey. Like, I'm still gonna be here. Reach out to me. Hit me up if you have any questions. Like, I'm accessible. I have no problem talking. I definitely will shoot you that DM, Alex. I really will. Look forward to hearing from you. Love you all. Repping LSU in Texas. Surrounded. Oh, you're surrounded by Aggie fans. And you got the goobs around you. Oh, no. Oh, no. Joker says, reason for the season. That's it. That's absolutely it. And Babin says, amen. Love you, brother. I love all of y'all too, man. Look, we've been on here for an hour already. I can't believe it. That's how much I love doing this. I thank y'all all for being here. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I'm gonna get out of y'all way. I know y'all tired of seeing my face for now, but guess what? Tough luck. I'm gonna be here. I know y'all really aren't tired of seeing me. I appreciate y'all being here this morning. Oh man, look, Babin is my brother. I love him. Junior is a kindred spirit, no doubt. That's what Unc says. Absolutely, man. Like, that's my guy. Alex says, y'all pray for me. The goobs are the worst. They are the worst. The goobs be goobing, man. Like, they are absolutely. They're the worst. Like, that's. Ole Miss is coming in for the worst fan base title underneath Texas A&M. At least Ole Miss has a national championship in baseball. Texas A&M doesn't have anything. And you would think that they had the resume of Alabama. I could go on for another hour about that. I'm not about to start another tangent. Once again, thank y'all, each and every one of y'all, for being here this morning with me, sharing this time, drinking your coffee, your tea, Red Bull, your water, soda, whatever it is that you had this morning for your get me up, for your pick me up. Like, enjoy it. It's almost lunchtime. Pick out where you're going to have your meal. Don't forget to be kind today. Make sure. Look, The world is crazy. I've said that several times this morning. It is a crazy place. And we want to see a difference in the world. Well, if you want to see a difference in the world, start with yourself. Be the difference that you want to see. Not like what LSU is right now, because Alex says in the chat, definitely everyone hates LSU. We are the villains. Yeah, when it comes to LSU, be the villain. We'll talk about that later. Be the villain. Joker says Red Bull. Yes. All right. Red Bull again in the morning for Joker. Good. At least you got your wake me up, bro. Make sure we're not going to be late tonight. Thank God it's a 4:30 pitch, a 4:30 first pitch. But make sure you have your Red Bull for this evening too. Cooking it up in the patty. What are you cooking? Joker's out here cooking, and he not sharing a plate with us. So you're just going to tease us like that. Wait till I talk to you later. You wait till I talk to you later. So like I said, y'all be the difference. Hold the door open for someone. That's free. And it makes a difference in somebody's day. Right? The reactions that you get for holding the door open for someone, it's very appreciative. They don't care about your color of your skin, what tattoos you have, like what you're wearing. It's just appreciative of the fact that somebody held the door open for them. Smile. That's free. It costs you more muscles to frown than it does to smile. Now, I'm not saying smile through pain, but if you smile at someone else and just say good morning, good afternoon, how are you doing? This man is cooking crawfish fettuccine, y'all. Joker is cooking crawfish fettuccine and don't have none to share. That's real Joker vibes. That's something the Joker would do. Talk about teasing us with a good time. But, yeah, just be the difference. It's free. It's free to be kind. It's free. And I'm telling you, your change, your impact carries a lot of weight. That one small act of kindness could legitimately save someone's life. So be the difference. I love the way Paul closes out all of his shows. God loves you. The only thing he wants you to do is love him back. And it's so true. It's so true. It's all he wants you to do. But it's your choice to make. Not going to force it on you. God's not going to give you something you don't want. And that even includes himself. So, y'all have an amazing Friday afternoon. Y'all will see me throughout the day. And I just want to say thank y'all. Love y'all. And we will be back later on. Later. Happy